Hello YouTube, my name is Andrew and I've been playing the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game for over 7 years competitively. As a new player, it can be very difficult to know which cards are safe to disenchant and which ones you might need in the future, and I would hate to see for someone to disenchant a card and then later have to craft it again. In this video, my goal will be to lay out a list of cards that either have value in the current meta now or may have value in the future based on cards we know are going to come out. I hope that by watching through this video, you're going to be able to gain a basic understanding of the metagame as a whole and which cards have value so that way you don't disenchant something that you might need later. Now in this video, I'm only going to be covering cards used in competitive play, and so if you do have a specific archetype in mind that you prefer, you may have to do a bit of additional research before crafting your deck. Additionally, you may not need to keep every single card listed in this video, but by listening to my explanations, you should get a good understanding of if keeping this card is right for you. If you do like this kind of content, really appreciate a subscription to the channel. You can also find me on Twitch. My links are in the description. I go live about 4 times a week, and I'm always answering questions and playing decks featured on this channel. In preparation for this video, I looked through all of the ultra rares in the game, and I've created a comprehensive list of every ultra rare that has some value in competitive play. So we're going to go through these lists type by type, and I'll add timestamps in the description so you can easily reference this video later. So I'm going to go through card by card, and if there's something that's not intuitive, I will go ahead and give an explanation. Starting with Effect Veiler, this is a generic hand trap. Neptibus is a really powerful starter that can go into Crystron Halqifibrax plays and is seen in a lot of decks. Dragon Buster, the Destruction Sword, is used for the Union Carrier lock, so this is really powerful and it's seen in a lot of top tier combo decks. Magician Souls is a premier draw card. This card can special summon from your hand, and it's used in a lot of decks. If I was able to get this from a pack, I'd definitely keep it. Astral Karibo is not as ubiquitous. You can special summon this from your hand and overlay it into a card like Kragan, which is from the Legacy pack. This creates a lock where your opponent can't destroy it by battle. You can make Crooked Cook with this. It's not as generic. It's pretty useful though in creating a stall strategy. Maxi is the best card in the game. You should probably have 3 of these. Diviner the Herald is used in Drytron decks. It's one of the best fairy starters in the game. Really generic. Generic cards like this usually see play later on. So if you're playing Drytron, you'll want to keep this, but even if not, it's probably worth holding on to. Tour Guide from the Underworld is a generic special summon, normal summon. It special summons a fiend from the deck. You can summon a fiend tuner to go into Halqifibrax plays. It's a 1-card rank 3, really powerful card. Unizombie is the best zombie starter in the game. You can send any zombie from your deck to your graveyard. This has seen play through multiple formats. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Ash Blossom Joy Spring, Ghost Belle Haunted Mansion, Ghost Mourner. All the Ghost Girls are good in their own way. Generic hand traps are usually good to hold on to. Rescue Cat is really useful in beast decks, specifically Tri-Brigade Melfi. It's a really good starter. If you're not playing Tri-Brigade decks, you might want to disenchant it, but it could come back into relevancy later on. All of the hero cards are ultra rares. Stratos, Vion. I included them in this list because when we do get Destiny Phoenix Enforcer coming out of the next core set in TCG, the hero deck gets a huge buff. So if you like heroes, you can start building it now and then maybe use them in the future. Zephyros, the Elite, is an ultra rare in this game. This card is the only Blackwing included in the list. You don't play it in Blackwing decks. By sending it to the graveyard, you can use it to create some really gross loops. I pulled one myself, and I'm not going to disenchant it, even though I'm not using it now, because I think it'll be useful later. Fairy Tale Snow is an insane card. It's at 3. You use it in most graveyard-based decks. Any Grass is Greener mill deck uses at least 3 copies of this card. Spiral Super Agent. Spirals are a really good deck. This is also just a really good warrior extender. Yeah, if you craft 1, or if you pull 1, you might want to hold it, but that's going to come down to personal preference. Soul Eating Oviraptor is the premier starter for the dinosaur deck. Really powerful deck. This card's also used to make Denglong and can be used for some really gross combos. I, for one, have used this for an FTK combo in YCS Niagara 2018. Really powerful. I would suggest holding it. Inspector Border is a really disgusting floodgate monster. It's really, really good, and in a best-of-1 format, it can have high impact. So you probably want to hold these. Subterra Guru, yeah, this is only used in Subterrors, but it's a pretty good deck. If you're not trying to play Subterrors, you can probably disenchant it. Batteryman Solar is a premier starter for the Thunder Dragon deck, which is really, really good in here due to the fact that we have Thunder Dragon Colossus. So I'd hold on to it if you intend on playing Thunder Dragons in the future. Another hero card included. Performapal Celestial Magician, really good one of in Pendulum decks. It has a powerful effect, multiple powerful effects. So if you plan on playing pendulums, you want to hold this. Gearsu, the Orcus Mech Knight, is limited to 1, but we also have a copy of Harp Horror. This is a really powerful strategy that might come into the meta as it develops. So I'm going to hold on to any copies of this card that I obtain. We do have another hero card here, Ferris, same logic. Artifact Scythe is a really powerful card that comes in and out of formats. Currently in the TCG, it's wreaking havoc because Destiny Phoenix Enforcer combos are allowing you to get access to this turn 1 and create disgusting loops. If I had a copy of this card, I would definitely hold on to it. Quantum Red Layer is a good warrior extender. Mythical Beast Jackal King is really good in pendulum decks. One of you can search off of Electromite, so I would definitely hold this card. Dimension Sifter is one of the most disgusting hand traps in the game. In decks that don't really care about banishing, like Gren Maju, Unchained, Thunder Dragons, you can discard this card turn 1 and turn off your opponent's entire turn, and then it doesn't affect you at all. Mist Valley Apex Avian is used with the Simorgh Link monster to create locks in Tri-Brigade Lyrilisc or similar decks. Probably worth holding on to. The Flow Wonderies deck is coming soon to this game, and it uses the card as well. Machina Fortress is crucial to any Earth Machine strategy, which is an up-and-coming deck. I do think this card's really good. If you do plan on playing machines, you're going to need it. Tempest is used in some Dragon Link strategies. It's not the premier option right now, but it is the only legal Dragon Ruler, so I'd say hold on to it. Astrograph Sorcerer is objectively the best pendulum monster in the game, so yeah, we definitely want that. Dino Wrestler Pankratops is a really awesome side deck option for any deck. Any going second deck plays this card. You're going to want to hold it. It's the only Dino Wrestler card in this list. Endymion the Mighty Master, powerful pendulum monster, good boss monster for the deck. You're going to want to use this in advanced pendulum strategies. Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning, is a really okay card. You could disenchant this if you're short on dust and you don't plan on using chaos decks, but I have it in my list because I think it could come into relevancy later. Vanity's Ruler, again, not super important to hold, but you can search this out in Drytron. Some early Drytron combos did use it to create a lock, but it is less powerful than the current boards that Drytrons are making. This is going to come down to player pref if you want to keep it. Destiny Hero Plasma is really good. Its effect is really good, but it's also, you can send it off Fusion Destiny in upcoming formats when we have Destiny Phoenix Enforcer. In decks that like Chaos Dragon Link, you definitely want to play this instead of Dasher, because you can banish it off of your effects and then add it back using Chaos Space. So if I pulled it, I would definitely hold on to it. Judgment Dragon, you only want to keep this if you plan on playing Lightsworn. Archlord Christia has come into formats as a lock card, summoning off of like Saryuja Skulldread or back from graveyard using Dugaris. It's pretty powerful. Dogaran is a really good kaiju. Dinosaurs can search this card. Really, really powerful. Blue Eyes Alternative will be important if you ever plan on playing a Blue Eyes deck. Mythical Beast Cerberus is, again, another powerful boss monster for pendulums. Darkest Diabolos is a really good card used in Thunder Dragon sometimes. Thunder Dragon Chaos decks are on the rise. Same thing with Levanir. These Chaos decks are good throughout multiple formats. The Danger cards are really useful in going second decks. Doom King Balderok is a powerful boss monster for zombies. Gizmek Orochi is used to OTK. Same thing with Alpha Master of Beasts. Fleur-de-Lis is part of the Dogmatic engine, which is ubiquitous. You play it in tons of archetypes. We're going to need Evil Twin Kisakill in the future when we get the boss monster for Evil Twin, so if you plan on playing that archetype, you'll need one copy of this card. Mardell is used in plant decks. They're getting some support like way later in the future, but holding onto one Mardell might be useful if you do like these archetypes. If not, you can disenchant it. Rainbow Dragon is needed to summon Rainbow Neos, which is the best like spell that you can activate and just send monsters from your deck without any conditions right now to create a boss monster going second. So if you're trying to OTK, this card might be worth your while. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is going to be used in every dragon strategy ever. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno is the best boss monster for dinosaurs. Citadel is used in that Earth Machine deck. Eldritch the Golden Lord, really, really good card in Eldritch, but it's also very splashable. In some like Shadal decks and some Invoke decks play this. Zephyrath is a really powerful pendulum monster that you'd use in some of your pendulum strategies. Nibiru is a generic hand trap. Archnemesis Protos is a card that's not seeing play right now, but when Sword Soul comes into the game, it's in the next core set. This card is played in the main deck of every Sword Soul deck, so you'll need one copy if you plan on playing that strategy. Revolution Dragon is only used if you're playing Dragon Pendulums. If not, you can disenchant it. Herald of Ultimateness is for Drytron, and so is Drytron Meteonis Draconids. Some other ritual monsters worth your while are Chaos Max, which is a gimmicky OTK deck that's pretty fun. Necroz is a good tier 2 strategy. but it used to be the best deck, so if I pulled this, I'd hold it. And then, yeah, again, the Drytron cards, I don't know why I put those twice. For spells, we have Harpy's Feather Duster, Mind Control, Upstart Goblin, Foolish Burial, Terraforming, Gold Sarcophagus, Instant Fusion, all really good cards. One-ofs, Upstart's a good consistency card, Mind Control is crazy going second. All the hero cards are ultra rare apparently, so a hero lives at 3, you're going to need for any hero deck. Trade-in is used for either danger or blue-eyes strategies. Same thing with Melody of Awakening Dragons, but this can also be used in some Chaos decks, like the Chaos Thunder Dragons. Charge of the Light Brigade is used in some 60-card decks, and not just Lightsworn, so I would probably hold these. 1-for-1, good one-ofs. Fossil Dig, the premier starter for dinosaurs. I added Onomatopoeia in this list because some Adamancipator lists are playing an Onomat package. I myself did use this when Adamancipators were released. It's pretty good. So if you're not playing Adamancipators, you can disenchant this. Kaiju Slumber is a good interruption. It's mostly used in OTK decks, and it can get ashed, so it's not even as good as like Dark Hole, but it does have a search effect when it's in graveyards, so it's pretty powerful. Grass is Greener is bonkers. I bet there's going to be a deck that splashes into the meta that takes advantage of this. Engage is really, really good as a splashable engine, but also in the pure deck. It's really, really nice to get access to drones, and then special Kagari, and then special back the drones to get 2 link materials, so I would definitely keep these. Bingo Machine Go is only used in Blue Eyes. Neos Fusion is for that OTK combo I was talking about a little bit ago. Signet Mining is a premier starter for the Cyverse decks, which there's quite a few of. Memories of Hope, you're only going to use this in Numerons. Dark Ruler No More, Lightning Storm are premier going second cards. You're going to want to hold these. Nadir Servant's insane. Triple Tactics Talent is kind of format dependent, but if you play tournaments with side decks, which we're going to see more of in the future, especially as secondary parties are providing cash tournaments or similar for this game, Triple Tactics is a really nice side deck card. Secret Password is needed for Evil Twins, which gets stronger in the next set. Smoke Grenade of the Thief, if you do pull this, you might want to keep one of them. Noble Knights used to abuse this card. It was tier 1. It hasn't been taken advantage of yet, but if I pulled one, I'd hold it. Necro Valley and Zombie World are good Floodgate field spells. Dragon Ravine is a good Searcher field spell. Use this in Dragon Link. Domain of the True Monarchs can be teched into the True Draco deck for a lock. Chicken Game is an insane 3 of draw card. Magical Mid-Breaker Field saw some play in Goki format when people were comboing. It was basically just any 2 warriors was full combo, and full combo was basically game. You just started playing more cards to like make sure your combo went through, and this was one of those cards because you just activate it at the start of your main phase 1, and your whole board is untargetable by like Effect Veilers, Infinite Impermanence. This card's limited to 1 in the TCG, so I think it's worth holding here. Numeron Network is a key card for a pretty quirky OTK deck, the Numerons. It's actually pretty funny. Drytron Meteonis is the premier ritual spell for Drytrons. Brilliant Fusion is at 1. Yeah, this could be used to facilitate some gross combo here, but the Predaplant that searches it is also limited to 1, so I haven't seen it come about yet, but I mean, player creativity is unlimited, so it could be powerful later. Limited Removal is used for machine OTK strategies like Numeron or Cyber Dragon. Super Poly is one of the best removal cards in the game. When the boards get bigger, Super Poly gets stronger. Definitely want to hold these. Called by the Grave is objectively the best spell in the game. Crossout Designator is a close second. Soul Servant is used in the Dark Magician strategies. Forbidden Droplets is an amazing card that can out some of these boards. I play it in a lot of decks myself. Artifact Sanctum can be used to special summon Artifact Scythe out of your deck, so it might see play later, especially in the side deck. Harpy's Feather Storm is used in Lyrilisk to create some really unwinnable game states for your opponent, but in the future, we get Flow Wonderies, another winged beast strategy, Winged Beast, and it uses this card as well. Metaverse can get cards like Necro Valley or Zombie World out of your deck, so you want to play this if you're playing those strategies. Infinite Impermanence is a really nice hand trap. Solemn Judgment's really powerful to kind of back up your board with an Omni Negate. Strike is a nice way to remove monsters from the board as well. Red Reboot, amazing card going second. Imperial Order, disgusting card going first. Same thing with Vanities. There can be only one as a powerful Floodgate, and Crackdown is okay. This card, it might be the first on the list to disenchant. It steals one of their monsters, but in the overall like economy of cards, this isn't as powerful of an effect. For the extra deck, a Millenniumized Restrict is summoned off of Instant Fusion to create a negate before you start your plays. End test, you send this off the Dogmatica cards. The Shaddoll cards are really good. You can access them through a Dogmatica engine or the Shaddoll deck. More hero cards are here, more Shadal cards, and then the Thunder Dragon, Colossus. You can summon this in Thunder Dragons, but there's also some strategies using like Trishula, the Dragon of the Icy Barrier, Icy Imprisonment, which you can use to summon it in Dragon Link. You can also use like Nemesis Corridor to summon Colossus in other decks, so if you pull it, you might want to hold it. Another hero card here. The Dark Magicians is one of the best boss monsters for the Dark Magician deck. Titaniclad, this supports the Dogmatica strategy. Albion the Branded Dragon is not super useful right now, but when we get the Albus structure deck, like the branded cards are insane, tier 0 in the OCG, so definitely hold this. Chimera Tech Mega Fleet is a pretty generic removal. You can tech Cyber Dragons into your deck, special summon them, and remove any monster in your opponent's extra monster zone. So Cyber Dragons use this card, but it can be used in generic decks as well. Titan is a really good boss monster. You only use this one in the Thunder Dragon deck, but it is one of the best decks right now. So is Prank Kids, one of the best decks. XX Saber Gotams, you use this in Virtual World. Trishula is just a powerful card. This thing is going to come in and out of the format. I think Dinosaurs can even use it right now pretty well. Sulkin is currently only used in Virtual World as far as the best decks are concerned. But yeah, most decks have a way to cheese this card out, so I would hold on to it. Same thing with Geomathematic Final Sigma. This card's kind of like an alternate win condition for some decks, but it's not currently being played. Even so, if I pulled it, I'd hold it. Next, we have Zeus, and Zeus is nice. You're going to want to play Zeus in any XYZ deck. I included this rank 10 engine. If you're playing Eldritch or Machine deck, you'll want to include this, but if not, you can pass these cards up. True King of Calamities is insane. It's the best rank 9 in the game. Hope Harbinger is a very good rank 8. And then for Synchros, we have Denglong, and we're kind of just waiting for someone to break this card. It's banned in the TCG. I can't wait for it to do something disgusting. We have a Virtual World card here, Juju, tier 1 deck. Omega is really good, not only for being a Synchro 8, but you can send this to graveyard off your Dogmatica cards for an additional graveyard effect. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, you can summon this the hard way, using its materials, or you can cheese it out of your deck using Ultimaya Sulkin. Borload Savage Dragon is a really, really good generic Synchro 8 that's used in any deck that can put a Link monster in the graveyard. Draco Berserker of the Tenyi is okay right now, but it gets a lot better when Sword Soul comes out. Same thing with Dragite. You'll use Dragite in the Adamantipator deck, but you'll also use this in Sword Soul. Chaos Ruler is amazing. You're going to use this in any Chaos strategy, especially Dragon Link, but I've seen Zombies and 60-card decks playing it as well. Xiao Fang is used in some strategies right now, like the Yang Xing strategies, but this will get better when Sword Soul comes out. Hot Red Dragon Arcfiend is played in the Dragon Link deck, but you can also cheese this out off of Ultimaya Sulkin combos. We play a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. I included this for Blue Eyes players, but if you're not playing Blue Eyes, you can skip it. Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles is used in the Infernoble deck, which has a ton of potential, but it's currently not seeing play at the top tables. Shen Shen is part of one of the best decks, and then Ruddy Rose Dragon isn't really that great right now, but again, really good when we get Sword Soul. We have Evolzor, Lagia, and Dolka used in the Dinosaur deck. Daigusto Emerald is not currently seeing meta play, but this thing has broken formats in the past. Madolche cards are really good. I'm going to do a video on Madolche in the future, so I would hold them if you like the archetype. Bahamut Shark is used in Sharks. I mean, yeah. Abyss Dweller is really, really good, especially when graveyard-based decks are in the format. This card is a generic staple. Rongminiad is the current boss monster of the Phantom Knight deck, and this card is disgusting. And then Zodiac Trident, you play this in Zodiacs, but you can access it in other decks too that have access to a generic rank 4. You simply make Zodiac Chakanine, which is generic, and then you just slap this one on top. Tornado Dragon is really good to destroy back row. Time Thief Redoer is a very good generic rank 4, especially in Phantom Knights where you can put the Phantom Knight trap under it and get most of its effects. Gagaga Magician, not as useful in a lot of current strategies, but you can detach one and special an XYZ monster from your graveyard, and then overlay the two of them for Utopic Draco Future. So it's pretty powerful potential. Constellar Pleiades, you'll use this in some Eldritch lists to overlay the traps and then make it. It's a really good generic bounce card, powerful effect, might see play in the future. Another Madolche card. I do have Ptolemy here too. Any rank 6 deck is going to use this. Cyber Dragon Infinity is super powerful if you have the means to get it out. Beatrice is insane. You're not just using this in Burning Abyss. It sends any card from your deck to your graveyard once during either player's turn. Sending like a Fairy Tale Snow is going to give you a huge benefit. Galaxy Tomahawk, number 42. This card is banned in the TCG. It summons a ton of Link material. It's only going to take one creative player to break this card. Same thing with Draco Sack. This would be used in similar combos to Galaxy Tomahawk in order to get a bunch of extra Link material. Kali Yuga, this thing has done some disgusting plays in the past. Usually you'll rank up into this using like a rank up magic, and then during your opponent's turn they can't activate any card effects. We might see that take effect in this game as well. And then Dingirsu is probably the most generic rank 8 in the game. It gives you a protection effect but also a non-targeted send. Number 100 is used in a cheesy OTK combo with a Dragublion, which is a rank 8, so any rank 8 deck can use this for an OTK. Recital Starling is cheesed in the Lyrilusc strategy. Utopic Draco Future is a really good boss monster. You can use this in like Lyrilusc, you can use it in Phantom Knights. It's really easy to access. This is a Drytron boss monster, a tier 1 deck. Ensemble Robin is used in Lyriluscs. Totally awesome. You'll use this in Toads, in Sharks, but also in Prank Kids. The Joyous Melfi, this is a card that you can use in the Melfi Tri-Brigade list, but if you're not planning on playing that, you can disenchant it. Dante is the main man. This card's eternal. You might want to hold him because he always stays relevant. Virtual World card here, what tier 1 deck. The Mech Knight Spectrum Supreme, you only need this if you're playing Mech Knights, but you do need one for the strategy. Sorry Yugioh is a really good generic Link 4 that for aggressive combo decks, you're going to want to tech one copy of this. Boral Sword Dragon is the premier OTK option, just makes it super easy to deal 8,000 damage. Prank Kids are tier 1. Mech Knight Crusadia Avermax, you don't have to use this in Mech Knights. It also can be a really powerful boss monster, especially when you summon it with IP Masquerena. Appaloosa is objectively the best rank 4 in the game, super generic negates. Zero Boros is kind of optional. This card can get a lot of attack points and be pretty problematic, but it's not really used very frequently. I chose to hold my copy, so I included it here, but you can make your own choice on this. Unchained Abomination is kind of in that same vein of rank 4s that have like marginal utility, but are pretty good, so I like holding on to generic cards like this because you never know when you're going to need them. Axis Code is insane. This card just makes blowing up your opponent's board easy. You're definitely going to want to craft this probably first as far as ultra rare Link monsters are concerned. Tri-Brigade Shurig is used in the Tri-Brigade deck tier 1, and Underworld Goddess is a nice card to have. You're not always going to play this, but let's say that we do get a card like Dragoon or a powerful Towers monster you can't out. This card lets you just link it away, and it makes cleaning up the board easy. Next we have Spiral Double Helix, only used in the Spiral deck. Hieratic Seal is used in every single Dragon deck. Isold is used in every single Warrior deck. Cherubini is a rank 3 turbo card. You're going to use this in Phantom Knights. Metal Foes, Electromite is used in every Pendulum deck. Halqifibrax is insane. You can summon this with any tuner. It's used to facilitate some combos. You're definitely going to want to hold this. And then Scrap Wyvern, you only use this in like aggressive scrap combos, but those things do come in and out of the format. Masquerena is a really good generic Link too. This lets you have interruptions during your opponent's turn. Definitely want to hold on to it. Union Carrier is currently used mostly to cheese out the Destruction Sword Buster guy to lock your opponent out of the extra deck, but you can also get like Block Dragon out of your deck, Ava, really powerful card. And then Verti Anaconda is only going to get better. The better fusion spells we get in the game, the better Verti gets. This card is a premier card for any fusion deck. And then Curious is really nice, can send any spell or monster, anything from your deck if you summon it, and then you can use a card like Nightmare Griffin to reset it to your field. Topologic Trisbania, again, this is kind of optional, but it's a really useful tool to banish all of your opponent's back row. So let's say you're playing against Eldritch, you can banish all of their spells and traps simultaneously, powerful effect. Nightmare Unicorn is the best Link 3. You're going to play this in almost every deck. Rusty Bardiche is the namesake of the Phantom Knights deck, a tier 1 strategy. Blackluster Soldier can be used in some decks to create a boss monster that most people can't destroy. It can't be targeted or destroyed, so some decks just don't have an out to this guy. Megaclops, you're going to use this in like Zodiac or a lot of XYZ strategies such as Numeron. Again, another boss monster that's hard to out. Draco Masters of the Tenyi is going to be useful in the future when we get the Sword Soul deck. You usually play this card at 1, but it is kind of optional. Some lists don't even use it, so if you're not planning on playing Sword Soul, you can disenchant. Simorg is really good. You're going to play this in only pretty much the Lyrilusc deck. Some Tri-Brigade strategies utilize it, but it is currently seeing a lot of play in the TCG. Selene is really good in Pendulum decks. You use this in Spiral. She is a really good strategy as well for like Sky Striker. You can go into her using Halqifibrax and an Effect Veiler or any of the Charmers. She's mostly used to go into Axis Code. And then Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon is a really powerful enabler for some Synchro combos, like Synchro Eldritch. Essentially, you're going to use Halqifibrax to summon a tuner from your deck. Go right into this, and then it'll allow you tons of Synchro material. We also have Linkuriboh, good for any level 1 strategy. This thing comes up in usefulness time and time again. Kagari for any engage engine, and of course the Sky Striker deck. Anima is good if you have level 1s. You can eat your opponent's monsters, but not required to keep. All Mirage, I would say always hold this card. A lot of decks use it. If you're planning on playing Salamangreats, you'll need these cards, but if not, you can disenchant them. Wise Strix is used for some cheesy XYZ combos. It's not really seeing play in the meta, but it's kind of on the fringe. Same thing with Platinum Gadget. Some machine decks will use this, but it's limited in its utility. And Double Dragon Lords is pretty much only used in Tri-Brigade. Alright, so I know that was probably a lot of information to digest at once, but hopefully this video provides you a resource that you can look back on when you open a pack and you're not sure if you need the card. You'll be able to use the timestamp and find the area in the video for the corresponding type, and then kind of find the card and hear a brief explanation about what it does. If you do like this content, again, I really appreciate the subscription. I put a lot of work into these videos. You can also find me on Twitch. I go live 4 times a week, and we do have a very active Discord community. All the links are in the description. Other than that, I hope you've had a great day. I hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.